Today I am going to fix my sister's window, driver's door window. As you can see, it's hanging out the bloody frame. It's all over the place. Big old chip on the top here. I suspect someone's tried to get into it. There's a big dent up there as well. What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck is going on with this thing. Anyway, it's a 2000 Yaris, whatever that is. Looks like that. There you go. I am going to, it was GS. Whoa! 3-door. Take this trim off. Looks like 1 screw, 2 screws, and screws around the edge of the trim. There's screws all around the edge of the trim here, and I'd imagine the rest of it is held on with poppers. So let me get the screws undone. They've all hatched. They're all up there looking at me. Right, chaps? Anyway, Mum or Dad keeps flying in and squawking at me. It's tough fucking shit. I'm working. Right, let's get a chair. You don't need to watch me undoing screws, but I thought I'd show you the house, Martins. Right, so it looks like this probably just unclips, I would imagine. Feels like it unclips. I might have to get a little pry bar underneath there. A little trim removal tool, sorry, I do apologise, not a pry bar, a tool. Feels like it wants to come off. Let's get the door panel off first of all, though, because we'll probably find there's a screw underneath there. Right, door panel. My phone's, the lens is broken on the outside of my phone, which is why it's hazy. Neg me for that if you want to. Aha, some of these things ain't even screws. They're puppy screws. I just dropped it. Or I should say I just dropped one. This bloody house parties. Here we are, look. So what happened was, on the head was a crosshead. Focus. But inside it, it's like a big cut washer. And it's just a little trim tool. So as soon as you turn it quarter of a turn, it unclips. There we are. Don't lose the 2 halves of that. Let's see what these other ones are like. La 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 la. Perhaps you will watch me unscrewing screws. Oh, that one's exactly the same. So I've undone it quarter of a turn. Get my finger behind it. Give it a yank. And it comes out. And it looks like the outer piece comes out as well. So the screw is actually in 2 chunks like that. That's an old pie dish there, you see. Quite useful. Never chuck anything away. I keep telling you. That's 1, 2. Looks like that might just come off. Oh, that comes off dead easily. That's the mirror surround. That can go down there. Oh, now, what are we going to do now? I think what I need to do is get behind this. Any more screws along the bottom? No. No more screws up there. Right, pry tool next. Can't find the pry tool. Old wood chisel. Wrapped a load of duct tape around the edge. Unlikely to damage the paintwork. So I'm going to start down. Actually, no, I'm going to start over here where the screws are, because that will be the most logical place then to find any clips that might be holding this bloody thing together. Right, I'm going to go two-handed on this. Sorry guys, you can't see. It was extraordinarily successful. Right, so starting round by where the screws were, work my way round, and it looks like that is all I need. There we are, it's off. That's it. We're off. Right, now what's holding the switches in? Oh, nothing's holding the switches in because they're actually hanging out. Let me just poke that through there. One-handed. You see, I really love working one-handed. It's all your guys' benefit. Did you see that fly then? It wasn't me. My sister says, who broke my car? It was not me. Right, now, usual state of affairs in here. We've got the plastic. Trying to destroy this stuff. It's actually really useful at stopping the moisture getting in the car. I know things like VW Golf. Oh, this fell out of the car, by the way, while I was in there. I thought it might be someone's spliff, but it's not. It's actually just a rolled up ticket that was probably on the window and then disappeared into the door. I was getting quite excited. I thought, oh, I found a spliff. Alas not. This thing's not focusing. I've got a new lens. The covering, it looks like a complete mess, but it's got this quite nice sticky dum-dum type stuff. I've got some body sealant stuff. This stuff's actually gone a bit brittle around the edges here, so I've got some new stuff I'll put in. Some of it's still soft. That bit there is about as soft as it gets. It's not. It's cracked up, so that needs to be replaced. Like you see down here, the stripper's all completely gone. You can get this stuff. They used to call it dum-dum. Oh, sorry, in the UK market they call it dum-dum, but I imagine 3M and all other manufacturers do this stuff here. Really are struggling with this phone today. Sorry, chaps. Right, there. So now I need to plug the switch back on and see if I can lower the glass. Ignition. What have I done with the keys? In my pocket. See if we can lower the glass. I can see up here, there's the end of a channel. Can we see the other end of the channel? I think it might have broken off actually. It has. That's why it's not working, I reckon. I reckon that's why it's not working. Because I think the channel's broken off one end of the glass. Right, let me, ignition, on, switch. No, fuck all. Ignition on. Yeah, there's nothing on the end of the glass there. So there's the corner of the glass. And on this end, I've got a channel and a screw. Undone that bolt there and you can see the plastic is cracked underneath it. So I'm wondering if we can just get these plastic bits. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use two hands because I'm not going to video this. But what I've done is I've attached a couple of bits of duct tape onto the outside of the glass. I shall lift the glass up and then tape it over the top of the door frame. Okay, put the tape in place first of all, then you can do it with two hands. You don't need to have someone else to help you. So let me lift it up and then I'll show you what I've done. So there is another clip. It's about here someplace. So I'm going to need to lower the window down because I thought the clip would be on the end of the glass, but it's not. It's about here. Not in there, here. So the two clips are probably still there. Now I've got this clip, you see that clip has now come off that window channel there. So I'm going to need to see if I can manoeuvre this glass down using the switch. And again, it's going to be a two-handed affair, but I need to get the glass down low enough so I can see that one's brother probably through this hole. Okay, it looks like that hole because when I feel in here, I can feel the other clip and it's there. Got the glass to go down and it's there. So basically using two hands on this thing. And I think I can see what the problem is. This lever is all mangled. Oh, fucking look at that one in there. The levers are all mangled. I don't know why they're all mangled, but we'll find out in a minute. It looks like the regulators have to come out and see if we can unmangle the handles or unmangle the levers. It looks to be a fairly straightforward window mechanism. Some of these things have cables that run up either side of the door and go around a pulley. This one looks like it's just got a scissor arrangement on pieces of tinfoil by the looks of things. Because that there, look at that. That is properly mangled. Right, let me get this bolt undone. The other one was fiendishly tight, so again, I'll try and do it on camera for you chaps, so you can hear me grunting. Right, I'll just put my little wrench on the end of my screwdriver. I'll turn the ignition off. Right. Fucking hell. Right, I'll just drop the end of the socket into the door there. And it's gone right the way up there. Gone miles. Ah. Didn't even undo the bolt. Right, let me go and get my fucking socket back. Magnetic sticks, these things you get at the tool store or wherever. They're bloody useful. I normally only pay a couple of quid for them. As long as you can keep them out of the way of interfering little fingers that tend to snap them. Right, let's try this again. Let's try this again to see if we can get this apart while videoing it without swearing too loudly. Let's put that in there so it's out of the way. Put that on there. Oh, I did undo it. I undid it. Right, so let's get that bolt out. With those two clips undone, I just lifted the glass out. It's a piece of piss. Dad's over there holding it, look. It doesn't even weigh anything. I'm not even sure it's glass. Is it glass?
It is glass.
Yeah, we're going to find out in a minute. It's easier to take the glass out than it was to try and prop it up. Right, it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts holding the regulator on. That looks like the plug for the regulator. It looks like we've got another 2 bolts here which hold the top end of the scissor. These are all going to be fiendishly tight, so let me concentrate on getting these all undone and then I will come back to you. Built-in obsolescence, chaps. There's the mangled bit. This is the whole regulator here. That's the motor on the bottom end, the scissor section, the bottom channel that attaches to the glass, and the top channel which bolts into the door frame. What I'm going to do is straighten this piece out, drill a couple of holes through it, pop rivet a lump of metal on the back of it. Instant strength. What's the worst that's going to happen? It's either that or waiting a week for one to come from a scrapper and paying 35 quid for it. What do you reckon? I reckon. Here's a closer look at it. I've managed to beat that piece out, but that piece is completely twisted up there. It looks like I can just take these things off the runner by bending those two tabs up there, and then I can take the whole scissor assembly off the runner, make sure I put it back on the right way up, of course, because that's the top edge. This is the bit that faces inside the car, and it's so you imagine the outside of the car is the bench. That's where the plug goes in, you see, for the electrics. Sponsored by. I'm going to straighten this up. I've got it most of the way there, but I can't straighten that end piece up with it in place. I've just been using a bit of percussive maintenance. This whole scissor mechanism looks like it is spot welded together. I think, because you can see it comes down so far, then it stops because it's jamming, because that is jamming inside there. So I suspect that's probably where the damage started, and then the weight of the glass buckled the rest of it, and then the whole fucking thing said, I give up, I surrender. But it's very, 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 very straightforward mechanism. It really, there's nothing particularly nasty about it. That one's a little bit bent. I mean, it's tougher than it looks. I mean, it looks like this stuff's made out of tinfoil, but it's a fair amount of pressure I'm putting onto that, and I can't bend it. So I think what I'm going to do is hammer it back into shape again and put it back on the car. Probably should video this, shouldn't I? Right, those two lugs, bent them right up because the slider goes, there's enough room between the edge of the channel and that little recess there for the slider to come out. I shall lube this thing all up before it goes back in. Let me straighten this fella out now. I've actually even got this thing here. Work? Sort of work. Right, okay, where are we? Leaving that where it is, put that there. Just using the edge of my vice here. I don't want to break the channel. Really just twisting it back into shape again. And again, it's pretty strong, it's just twisted because it got mangled. And it got mangled because it's 2000, it's a 19-year-old car living way beyond its, oh, I see, I did bend that then. What I might do is I am going to strengthen these because there is lateral, and I think there is going to be enough room in between. There is going to be enough room in between for me to put a sheet of steel down inside this channel. So let me cut a piece of steel. So positioning this thing back into the door, that bit there goes to these holes here and here. These four holes here go to these four holes here. You can see there's a bit of a pivot point. That one looks like it's got some up and down. That's got a lot of side to side, and these two sort of a roundish. So, and then it looks like that goes through there. So you can see it. So all I do is I've collapsed it all into a nice, and I'll position it. There we are. That's roughly there. That's roughly there. I'm going to need to use two hands, I'm afraid, just to put this top screw in here. That one there. Put that. Oh, you didn't see it because I needed two hands, but I put that bolt in. That one's just loose still. Fix this up here. This is dead easy to fit up. So this is the little short runner. Just manoeuvred it into the upright position, which is dead easy when there's no glass in the door, and slotted it in so that it fits into the slots. There we are. And then just put the bolts into it. Oh, there's one bolt there. One bolt's going to go at the other end. So I'm going to tighten all these bolts up, and then I will come back to you and we'll test the operation. Won't we? That was a lump of metal in the end of my thumb. There's always a lump of metal in the end of my thumb. I don't know what it is I do to get lumps of metal in the end of my thumb. There we go. Switch is back on. Put the plug back in. Try not to bend all the pins, because I've had a beer, and that would be unfortunate, wouldn't it? I do like this, by the way. Right down at the bottom of the door, stamped into the pressing. Just in case you didn't know. For some reason that's... There we are, look at that. Isn't that sweet? Right, okay, so the idea now is we ignition on. To get it nice and level. Yes, well I'd say that's... You can see how the mechanism works, really. I'd say a resounding success. Let's get the glass back in. This could be fun. I thought I'd just show you the fixings on the bottom edge of the glass. So they're bonded to the glass, and these two fixings are the ones that go onto that horizontal rail that goes along the outside. So let me, I'm going to go two-handed, I'm afraid. I'm going to position the glass back in from the outside of the door, drop it down into the frame, and then position it onto the runners. And then all I've done, lowered the glass in, so the glass is in the frame. There it all is, it's all in. Position the lugs over the pins on the slide. Now, I'm not entirely happy these lugs aren't absolutely and utterly ruined, but they locate. So let's do up these nuts. I might need to put a little bit of thread lock on these, because these were done up to about 55,000 foot-pounds. Actually, they weren't. They were just kind of locked, whatever it is, thread locked in. I don't want to go nuts on that. And then get this other one in, which is in there. You see the red fixing there. Do that one up, and then I shall demonstrate the window working. Right, it's done the two nuts up to secure the glass to the channel. Let's give it a go. Will it work? Ah, no, see the glass has come out the channel over here. I wonder if that's what the problem was originally. So let's look now at this channel rubber over here, because this all looks fucking mangled, this does. You can't see it because the light's all gone funny. It came out the channel here. Let me see if I can straighten this up. So this is the channel, this is the bottom end of the channel that goes down here. And I'm pretty sure it should not be that shape. So I'm going to go and straighten this out. It goes from there down to, and it mounts through that hole, no, not that hole there. That hole there, I think it goes onto. So it goes like that. But look at him. That is properly mangled, isn't it? Have you ever seen anything like it? And this is why the glass sometimes goes up the outside of the channel, the inside of the channel, the upside of the channel, the downside of the channel. It's going everywhere. Probably all caused by these things over here folding up. So I'm going to go straighten this fella out. So put that channel back in. I have put a old bit of Land Rover trim. Let's see if I get another bit here. That's the Toyota trim. That's fucks. This stuff I just use on the Land Rovers on the door channels. It's good enough. It fits. It works. And then ignition on, and it's a little bit juddery, but I think considering how much metal was mangled on that, I'm quite impressed that goes up and down. I really am. I like the way it like bleats like a sheep. There you go, chaps. That's how you fix a Yaris window. So you had to fix. If I just ordered the scissor section, the regulator, and paid £30-something off eBay for a second-hand part, then I would have still had the problem with the guide that runs down to that bolt. And this crap down here that's dripping out the bottom of the door is the silicone lube that I sprayed down the inside of the channel. So I sprayed quite a lot. So that bolt secures the bottom edge of the leading channel. Now, the other thing I had to do was just widen this gap here slightly. It's an old car. My sister doesn't give a shit, really. But... right, okay, that goes... You can't even see it now. Look at that. Can't even see it. And the mirror still works. Look at that. Good grief. I mean, how much more do you want out of life? Don't get any better, surely. Right, okay, I need to seal this trim back onto the door now. Bit of lube around the outside. Put the plastic back on, trim back on. Test drive up to the pub, I reckon. My sister's driving. Oi!